So on Stay Schemin', Drake says, tell Lucien I said fuck it, I'm tearing holes in my budget.
Tell Lucien I said fuck it, I'm tearing holes in my budget.
Did Drake call you up after that and say, hey, I need more money for my project?
If ever Drake or whenever Drake calls up and says he needs more money for his project, I give it to him.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Battle Rap Street Team channel. Please, if you get a chance, like, share, and subscribe. So, you guys seen a little earlier video that we made that was just a summation of what was going on with UMG. And UMG really wants to have this be dismissed, right? And so they decided, you know what, we're going to categorically explain what is going on between us and Drake and the issues that Drake may have and how we're going to refute that. So their whole thing here is a memorandum of law in support of its motion to dismiss. And when I tell you they went in, they went in. Now we're not going to read everything. I'm quite sure a lot of people's doing that. It's a whole lot. So first and foremost, all of these here in the table of contents, these are the cases that is kind of involved that they're leaning towards for reference to explain their position as to why they feel that this should be dismissed. Okay. And then we get into the actual situation here. Um, it says it starts off with the introduction, but before that, it has, yeah, I want it all. That's why I strive for it. Diss me, you'll never hear a reply for it. And this is from Drake's song Successful. And so in it, UMG starts their Ether blog like this. Plaintiff, one of the most successful recording artists of all time, lost a rap battle that he provoked and in which he willingly participated. They're already starting off like, hey, he didn't know how to accept this. And instead of accepting the loss like the unbothered rap artist he often claims to be, he has sued his own record label in misguided attempt to salve his wounds. Plaintiff's complaint is utterly without merit and should be dismissed with prejudice. Okay, so UMG's already starting off like he started the fight. He called himself being a bully and he ended up getting his ass whooped by Kendrick, and so now he mad. Basically, that's what they're saying. They're like, you're trying to blame us because you don't know how to take an ass whooping. This is crazy how UMG is just phrasing this, okay? So then they go into more, okay, the introduction. In the spring of 2024, two of the most popular recording artists in the world, Kendrick Lamar and Aubrey Drake Graham, of course they're using the whole name, or the plaintiff, engaged in a high-profile rap battle. Over the course of approximately 2 months, it was, they exchanged increasingly vitriolic and incendiary diss tracks, sometimes responding within hours of each other. Drake encouraged the feud. Notice how they keep pointing that out. Drake encouraged the feud. For example, when he felt that Lamar was taking too long to respond, Drake released a second recording in which he goaded Lamar to continue the public rap battle. Lamar did just that, and collectively, Drake and Lamar released a total of 9 tracks taking aim at each other. Multiple commentators declared Lamar to be the winner of the rap battle. Okay. This is the funniest this is the funniest retorts I've seen. They're letting you know, like, okay, Judge, this is what had happened. See, Drake started it, right? And Drake said, I mean, it's like you're sitting there, it's like we are being invited to their house and they're explaining the whole situation why their friend Drake is mad at them. And they're explaining, hey, Drake is mad at us because Kendrick and Drake got into it. Drake started it and Kendrick finished it, and they was wondering why we didn't jump in it. This is exactly how they're explaining it to me right now. I swear they are. Okay, so then they go on to say, not like us, the penultimate track in the feud is the subject of the complaint. Oh, I went too far. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's the subject of the complaint. The recording and music video were released by Lamar through defendant UMG on May 4th, 2024, excuse me. Not Like Us was a massive commercial and artistic success. The record was the best-selling rap recording of 2024 and won the Grammy Award for Record of the Year. And the accompanying music video won the Grammy Award for Best Music Video. The song Not Like Us won the Grammy Award for the Song of the Year and has become ubiquitous cultural phenomenon, ubiquitous cultural phenomenon. Among other things, Lamar performed the song at the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show to a record audience, and Saturday Night Live parodied it in his recent 50th anniversary special. So it's almost like they're saying, nah, 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 nah. Like it's like they had the dagger and they keep sticking it in the same wound over and over again. And it's like a retelling of how you suck and how you lost. Okay. Then they say, not like us, like all the other recordings in feud between Drake and Lamar, and like the many notorious diss tracks throughout rap history consists of a series of hyperbolic insults. Drake has been pleased to use UMG's platform to promote tracks leveling similar incendiary attacks at Lamar, including most significantly that Lamar engaged in domestic abuse and that one of Lamar's business partners and managers is the true father of Lamar's son. But now, this is so cool how they do this. But now, after losing the rap battle, Drake claims that Not Like Us is defamatory. Notice what UMG says after that. But now, after losing the rap battle, Drake claims that Not Like Us is defamatory. What did they say? It is not.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
UMG is not playing with this fool. They said it is not. And while the complaint focuses almost entirely on Not Like Us, it disregards the other Drake and Lamar diss tracks that surrounded Not Like Us, as well as the conventions of the diss track genre, and thus critically ignores the context of the dispute. Assessed in the context as it must be, Like Us clearly conveys notice non-actionable opinion and rhetorical hyperbole diss tracks that are a popular diss tracks are a popular and celebrated art form centered around outrageous insults, and they would be severely chilled if Drake's suit were permitted to proceed. Now, this is something that we really need to talk about because diss tracks been going on for years, right? You had Kumo D and LL, you had UTFO and Roxanne Shante. You had it was of course, most notable was KRS-One with the bridges over. It was on, right? It's been so many diss tracks that's been out here. Of course, Jay-Z and Nas and Biggie and Tupac and what have you. And so what they're saying is if this goes through, this is really going to affect how people talk to each other. And a diss track, you're messing up a long tradition. As a matter of fact, let's not forget too, Drake, Mr. I study battle rap for a living.
I study rap battles for a living.
That's all battle rap does. If you've ever been part of or watched or been a part of or watched a pay-per-view of or what have you, battle rap, when they're talking about the raps right now, they're talking about bullshit. But when they're talking about the raps, when we're talking about them going back and forth just in rap, that's what they do. It's like the lyrical dozens. That's what they're doing. And you're upset now because you lost. Okay? So what they're trying to say is like everybody's going to be affected by this. You can't sneak this neither because if somebody feel like you're talking about them, they're going to act a certain way. Okay, so let's move on. It says Drake also alleges that Not Like Us constitutes second degree harassment, but sues under criminal statute that does not proscribe speech and has no private right of action. Finally, Drake claims that UMG's promotion of Not Like Us violates New York General Business Law, subsection 349, but fails to allege any of the elements for that claim. It says, notably, less than 3 years ago, Drake himself signed a public petition. Uh-oh, I messed it up. Okay, right here. criticizing the trend of prosecutors using artists' creative expressions against them by treating rap lyrics as a literal fact. Now, you see what they're doing? See, now, this is the thing that's weird about that because, yes, they are right about that. But have you ever seen UMG or any of the other record labels stand for the artist when it comes to the artist being on trial? I haven't, have you? It's always been like Killer Mike. It's been the MCs that's been out there that's been saying, hey, don't be using these rap lyrics as a testament. That's not right. That's not fair. That's not, you don't do that with rock, you don't do that with country, but you only do that with rap. I have yet to see where it was a record label that's saying what UMG is trying to say now that hey, they it's just a creative expression that's being used against them now. Now they're utilizing that because they're going against Drake with this, which is really telling, really telling. Now, they also say, as Drake recognized when it comes to rap, the final work is a product of the artist's vision and imagination. Now, I've never heard a record company come out and say that before this beef, before anything, when it came to these individual rappers, these young rappers especially that's coming up and don't know how to move yet, and they're utilizing, you have the hip hop police actually utilizing the rap lyrics. Now, some of them end up being true. We can't, hey. But I'm talking about for the vast, the first thing they want to do is look at the rap lyrics to try to pin that on them about something. I have yet to hear a record company that come out in support of the artist saying this. Now they're utilizing this same tactic against Drake, saying, see, you're almost like the police. You're using this as a tactic to get at somebody else indirectly because you lost. They're really making it like Drake is not like us. And this is from the record company who is truly not like us. Okay. So let's continue. Said Drake was right then and is wrong now. Wow. The complaint unjustified claims against UMG are no more than Drake's attempt to save face for his unsuccessful rap battle with Lamar. The court should grant UMG's motion and dismiss the complaint with prejudice. Okay, so they're doing statements of fact now. Now this is when they're getting into it. Okay. I don't want to. I want to make sure I get this right. So let me do this part here. So the parties is the UMG, and they're saying that who UMG basically represents as far as the artists and the brands worldwide holds a catalog of 3.2 million recordings, and they represent artists through inter alia recordings, distribution, publishing, and third party licensing agreements, all of that. So we can skip all of that stuff. They also mention who Drake is, who signed through UMG Republic's division in 2009 and extended his contract into 2022. Drake's partnership with UMG has been hugely successful. He is one of the best-selling music artists of all time, with over 170 million albums sold and a series of awards and accolades, including Billboard Music Artist of the Decade in 2021. Let's go back to something real quick. It said that Drake signed with UMG through Republic's division in 2009. Now, remember a while back when they was like, you signed to this person, that person, that person, that person, and everybody kept saying, no, no, no. Drake and Nicki and all them, they wasn't signed with all of those labels. They're admitting it that, hey, he was signed to Republic. Republic has his own little different divisions as well. So, again, all of these people is kind of interconnected, okay? And this was back in 2009. Then he extended his contract, his own OVO imprint and all that through with EMG around UMG, excuse me, and extended his contract in 2022. Okay, so they even say Drake's partnership with UMG has been hugely successful. Okay, so let's just talk about how they signed to him and then he's now a partner with them. Okay. So of course he had all these accolades and what have you, and he was Billboard's Music Artist of the Decade in 2021. So UMG represents Lamar through UMG Interscope Division. Lamar is a highly successful rap artist in his own right. I like how they're doing that. I like how they're doing that. Okay. So then they get into the breakdown of the rap beef, right? They talk about Not Like Us at the center of the action was released as part of the rap beef between Drake and Lamar. The artist feud reportedly traces its origin back more than they did a whole thing. It's traced back more than a decade, but broke into public domain early 2024 when Drake and Lamar began trading diss tracks, sometimes within the same hour. I mean, and then they're telling you the footnotes where to look. Okay, we don't have all the time to look at the footnotes, but they're letting you know how everything popped off, right? So the diss track basically they was insulting each other, have existed pretty much since the beginning of rap. In the they're telling you the history. Remember when I mentioned Roxanne Shante and UTFO? They are mentioning that. A number of storied feuds have occurred, and this was back in the when I heard Roxanne Shante, that was in the 80s, early 80s. And I was like, who is this woman? Roxanne Shine. Okay, y'all got to understand. If you ever watch the Nas movie about we talking about Nas, the rap god Nas. He mentions Roxanne Shante and how she kind of helped him develop who he was because he knows Roxanne Shante. Roxanne Shante, while she was not the first female MC, it was MC Sha Rock, if I'm not mistaken, and of course, the late great Miss Angie Stone that just passed away. She's a hip hop pioneer as well. They were the first ones called Sequence, so they came before Roxanne Shante. But Roxanne Shante was what we would consider a battle rapper, something like what we know Remy Ma to be, right? She was a battle rapper. She was the first female battle rapper that I remember, right? And so UTFO used to have this song called Roxanne, Roxanne. No, what was it? I want to be, I mean, something like that. I forgot how it went.
Dancing just one show, cause I'm can't go, Mr. Sophisticator. As far as I know, ain't nobody greater from beginning to end and to beginning. I never lose because I'm all about winning, but if I was to lose, I wouldn't be upset, cause I'm not a gambler. I don't bet, I don't be in no casino. And baby, playing Nizzo, the is the grizzly, kiss and gizzo. I thought you'd be impressed and give me devious rap. I thought I had a great inside my sinister track. I thought it'd be a piece of cake, but it was nothing like that. I guess that's what I give a thinking, ain't that right, black? I thought I had it in the palm of my hand, but man, oh man, if I was grand, I'd bang Roxanne. Roxanne, Roxanne, can't you understand? Roxanne, Roxanne, I wanna be your man.
But UTFO had this song called Roxanne. And so Roxanne Shante had a song, and I forgot who put her up to it. I forgot the DJ's name that put her up to it. But she came out called Roxanne's Revenge. And so we got Roxanne Shante, which was answering back to UTFO, who was talking about this girl named Roxanne.
Video Music Box continues with one of the hottest lady rappers on the music scene. Here's Roxanne Shante and Roxanne's Revenge.
Well, my name is Roxanne. Don't you know I just a cold rocker party and I do this show. I said I met these three guys and you know it's true. Let me tell you and explain them all to you. I met this dude with the name of a hat. I didn't even walk away, I didn't give him no rap. But then he got real mad and he got a little tired. If he worked for me, you know he would be fired. He wears a Kango and that is cute. But he ain't got the money and he ain't got the loot. And every time that I see him, he's always a begging.
And not to mention, there was another Roxanne too. She was a fake one. Full Force tried to put her as the real Roxanne. She was not. She called herself trying to go up against the actual Roxanne Shante. She lost too, so she sucks. Move on. Now also they're talking about the feud between Nas and Jay-Z. Of course, we know about that feud. And Lil Kim and Foxy Brown, that was the big feud. And well, Foxy Brown kind of feuded with everybody. Lil Kim, Jackie O from Florida. Jackie O was not one to play with either. Remy Ma and Foxy Brown got into it. Yeah, it was a couple of Eve and Foxy Brown Foxy Brown kind of made her way. She made her way around. Okay. Also, Meg Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj kind of made her way around too. You know, except the only one that actually got close with her was as we know, Cardi. So, but we're gonna move past that. But anyway, I say all that to say that Rap Feuds has been here for a while. And it's mostly been kept on wax. Okay, there was nothing outside of the ordinary, and I hate that they keep using Rap Feud as the reason why Biggie and Pop is not here anymore. That wasn't really a Rap Feud. That was more street shit that permeated into a Rap Feud. So we gotta think about. You gotta kind of unfortunately compartmentalize that. And while we say that about Big and Pac, rest in peace, Miss Violetta Wallace, because she just passed away. That was Biggie's mom. Okay, so moving on. Drake, it mentions Drake is oh goodness, it moved too fast. Drake is a prolific rap feud combatant. So he's saying that they got history. Drake got history of rap feuds. They mentioned with Pusha T, uh, Meek Mill, and they're mentioning all of the stuff that he did, like back to back with Meek Mill, with this track, Drake diss track and Meek Mill feud, Duppy Freestyle, which was Drake's diss track in the Pusha T feud. He also went back and forth with he started with Common and Common spanked him. And I'm gonna keep saying this. He started with Joe, and Joe did he dropped 4 albums on this boy. So let me tell you, when it really comes to how many times Drake lost, he lost 4 times. Y'all only counting Pusha T and Kendrick, but he lost against Common and he lost against Joe Button too. Okay, but moving on. So the public feud between Drake and Lamar traces back to the October 2023 recording First Person Shooter by Drake and J. Cole, in which J. Cole rapped that Drake, and Lamar were the big three. Okay, the top three rappers in the industry. It's so funny how he's breaking this down. Which was part of the first person shooter lyrics. In response, Lamar appeared in on the March 2024 track Like That with artists Future and Metro Boomin, in which he rejected the notion that Drake and J. Cole were his equals. He did. And the fact that they mentioned the lyric, motherfuck the big three, it's just big me, right? From the Like That lyrics. This is crazy. Then Drake responded in April 2024 with the track Push Up that was distributed by UMG, right? They're showing all of the references. The recording takes aim at Lamar insulting his height, which they show how the fuck you big stepping with the size 7 men's on and pipsqueak pipe down, you ain't no big three. And his career, your first number one, I had to put it in your hand. Your last one brick, you really not on shit. And I'm at the top of the mountain. Just to have this talk with your ass, I had to hike down. Wow, he was talking his big shit there, wasn't he? So it says he also encouraged the feud, stating, "And that fucking song y'all got did not start the beef with us. This shit been brewing in a pot. Now I'm heating up." And he did say that. And I read it like that so you can hear exactly what he's saying. What they're doing is letting us know that this has been going on, and Drake is playing possum with this, right? And then they said, then seemingly impatient with the time it was taking Lamar to respond, UMG ain't shit. Drake released Tailor Made Freestyle on Instagram. Okay. The recording uses artificial intelligence to make it sound as if the voices of deceased rap icon Tupac Shakur and rapper Snoop Dogg are rapping Drake's lyrics. In their voices, Drake taunts Lamar for his delay. More notably, for present purposes, Drake urges Lamar in the voice of Tupac talk about Drake liking young girls on Lamar's next track. He did say that, right? And he says, Kendrick, we need you. The West Coast savior, engraving your name in some hip hop history, something like that, right? Y'all remember that. Now, y'all remember a while back when we talked about Tailor Made Freestyle. So, why would he name that Tailor Made Freestyle? And I still think that particular part of that name there was because of UMG. I think he was getting at UMG because of Taylor Swift. So, I really think that part was a part this to UMG as well. Okay. You go back and listen to that one of my earlier videos when we broke that down. So he also had a little bit of information here. It says if you deal with this, because this is him rapping in Tupac's voice. If you deal with this viciously, you seem a little nervous about all the publicity. F this Canadian light skin dot. We need a no debated West Coast victory, man. Call him a bitch for me. Talk about him liking young girls. That's a gift for me. Heard it on the Button podcast. It's got to be true. So now, this is the part that a lot of you OVO lovers hate to admit, that y'all keep trying to sweep under the rug for some reason. Drake opened it up with this. That's how all of this started. If he didn't talk about that man's woman, and if he didn't open up his mouth saying, "Yeah, tell him for me," to tell him that he liked young girls, he was calling himself trying to die that down, but it made it worse. He did this. He started this. So if he sues him for defamation, is he going to sue himself for defamation? And remember, let's not forget. Remember what Drake said now. They fed the information. So who you suing? Because you fed the information, Drake, remember? Everybody forgot that. Y'all didn't forget that. Y'all just don't want us to remember. That's all. So then in the voice of Snoop Dogg, Drake then calls on Lamar to release a new diss track. Said, but and in Snoop Dogg's voice he said, but still you gotta show this fucking owl who's boss on the West. Now's the time to really make a power move because right now it's looking like you're written out the game plan on how to lose, how to bark up the wrong tree and then get your head popped off in a crowded room. World is watching this chess game, but you are out of moves. But are you out of moves? So then Drake is now rapping in his own voice saying, since like that, your tone changed a little. You not as enthused. How are you not in the booth? It feels like you kind of removed. You trying to let this shit die down. Nah, nah, nah. Remember that? Not this time. You follow it through. I guess you need another week to figure out how to improve. What the F is taking so long? We waiting on you. So it ain't like he was scared to go against Kendrick. He thought he could little boy Kendrick. He thought that he was going to just little brother Kendrick. I don't know how he thought that, but I could tell by the way Drake's response and all of y'all responses who love him so much and not hip hop that y'all really didn't listen to Kendrick like that. Y'all thought Kendrick was cool in his little lane that don't not too many people listen to. Y'all didn't even realize that that man sold out a whole hip hop concert, a whole hip hop concert by himself. He was number one until Drake had to go back out on the road. That's the only reason why Drake went back out there because they showed that Kendrick was number one in hip hop, rap. That's it, right? So then they start breaking it down. Kendrick Lamar responded in two tracks, which was Euphoria, April 30th, followed by 616. And I'm here to put it on record, and I've said this before. I think 616 in LA is the best disc of all of them. And I couldn't understand why at first. But as we know now, due to so many breakdowns and what have you, it seems like 616 was a prayer before he went in. But to this day, I will listen to 616 faster than Not Like Us, faster than Euphoria. I really don't like listening to Meet the Gramps anyway, unless I'm watching a scary movie, I guess. But 616 to me is the best diss track of them all. I really love it, right? So they mentioned in Lamar's rap in Euphoria, speaking about Drake, said the famous actor we once knew is looking paranoid and now spiraling and a pathetic master manipulator. I can smell the tells on you now. You're not a rap artist, you're a scam artist with hopes of being accepted. And he did go in and he talked about his ass and his music, saying that I make music that electrify me, you make music that pacify me. His attacks his use of Tupac's voice and tailor-made freestyle. So I'm ready to double the wage. I'd rather do that than let a Canadian make cot turn in his grave. Then he attacks his parenting. I got a son to raise, but I can see you don't know nothing about that. This is the thing. And he also insults his character, racial identity. He didn't insult his racial identity. He insulted his character, though. He did do that. But this was the thing about that the son that raised thing. Everybody kept trying to say that he was talking about his son. He said, no, he was talking about you. I don't know how y'all missed that. He was talking about you. You showing your son off to the internet and gram. We know you ain't doing all that for real. That's what he's basically saying. You know what I mean? And then he goes in, I hate the way you walk, the way you talk. I hate the way that you dress. I hate the way you sneak this. If I catch a flight, it's gonna be direct. How many more fairy tales? I hate that he skipped all of that. So how many more fairy tales about your life until we have enough? How many more black features till you finally feel that you're black enough? I can't, whatever it is, I can tell. Okay, stop. So then Lamar insults continue in 616 LA, where he raps the member of Drake OVO's team are disloyal. He said, have you ever thought that OVO was working for me? Fake bully, I hate bullies. You must be a terrible person. Everyone inside your team is whispering that you deserve it. Then Drake responded approximately 14 hours later on evening of May 3rd with the track Family Matters. Okay. And in that's when he uses is laden with a whole lot of hyperbolic slurs. Drake attack, among other things, his authenticity. You know, you just acting like an activist. It's make believe. He's trying to say that he ain't a real activist, what have you. He talks about his height. He's always said, "I overlooked him. I'm starting to see. I was staring straight. These bars go over Kenny heads, no matter what I say." I'm gonna tell y'all now. I don't know how the hell y'all like Family Matters. That shit sucked. I don't care. The hardest part was when he was going against the other ones, but even that sucked. But whatever. Y'all said that I know it did. Stop lying. It sucked. Okay. So then he states that Lamar cheats on his fiance. So why did you move to New York? Is it because you live in that bachelor life, proposed in 2015, but don't want to make her your actual wife? I'm guessing this wedding ain't happening, right? Because we know the girls that you actually like. You know, your darkest secrets are coming to light. So he's basically saying, yeah, you got a sort of you got a black woman, right? But you know you like white women. That's basically what he was saying. And then he busts out and say, and asserts that one of Lamar's children was fathered by his business partner, one of his business partner, which is Dave Free. Said your baby mama captions always screaming, "Save me!" You did her dirty all your life. You're trying to make peace. I heard that one of them kids might be little kids might be Dave Freeze. Don't make it Dave Freeze, because if your GM is your BM secret BD, then all of this is making plenty of fucking sense to me. Okay, first off, you accused a couple of things. First, he accused him of beating his girl, right? He accused him not marrying a girl. That's between them if they're married or not, don't care. But he did accuse him of beating her, right? Then says that her captions always seem like a save me moment, which at that time she was going through postpartum depression. And if y'all don't know what that's like, that is that can throw a woman into a whirlwind. And y'all really need to understand if that person is writing like that, something is going on. And so that to me, that part wasn't funny because you're bringing Whitney into something. She's not battling you. Kendrick is battling you, but you couldn't really get at Kendrick unless you mentioned his woman. And that's a problem that Drake has. And that's why Pusha T, although it really didn't take much for Pusha T just to press go, but that was just a cherry on the cake for him to make sure he pressed go at full throttle and put the stick in the not in the brake but in the go position and keep it there, right? Put his foot on the gas, he put that stick right there in the gas, and he did not let up on Drake at all and just exploded and exposed everything because he mentioned that man's wife at the time, fiance, and he should never mention Pusha T's fiance. Drake has a problem doing that. The whole reason why he started with Common was because he was messing with Serena. Common was minding his business. Common and Serena had broke up, whatever, and Drake started starting shit with Common. And I don't know, like I always said before, I don't know what made him think that was a great idea because those of us who listened to Common knew better. We knew you Common ain't one of them ones that you mess with, right? He's all that philosophical and all of that stuff, and yeah, he love that tick it thigh, tick it thigh. Y'all took that too far because Common ain't one of them. Common is cool, but Common ain't no fool neither, and he ain't no punk, and he tried it, and I don't know why he tried it with him, thinking that Lamar was something different because Lamar got the same type of temperament. Like, yeah, okay, we all right, we gonna be all right, but I'll beat your ass too. It's come on now. Like you have no awareness. So anyway, he brought Whitney into the situation. which is bad because he had her as a DV victim, and also saying that she was cheating on him, and also that she's the mother of somebody else's child, which is his best friend. So you got that woman all kind of turned which way but loose. You know what I'm saying? So involving his girl in it was going to always, that was going to be a bad move anyway. Okay. And here they go, talk about that the next moment. Drake also wraps up that Lamar physically abused his fiance, stating, "When you put your hands on your girl, it's a self-defense because she's bigger than you." They hired a crisis management team to clean up the fact that you beat your queen. Now, I remember when this popped off, right? And he was asked this, Kendrick was asked that when that happened, and he emphatically denied and said that is not true. That is not true whatsoever.
And I was like, there's no way this is true.
Yeah.
When they said you were in Vegas and you beat some guy bloody and you did something to some female.
Yeah.
And they said they had evidence and all of this. And then I never heard anything about it again.
Yeah, because it's foolishness.
Mhm.
That's the most ignorant stuff I've ever heard made up on
I was like,
on
Kendrick
my
did that?
name.
I doubt it.
And, you know, that person, whoever made that up, owes an apology. Not to me, but to women that actually go out there and get abused. You dig what I'm saying? That's a real issue. And to be putting a person name that you know, that stands for someone way more better, that's been raised way more better than that, that's not cool. It's people out there that really get abused, and there's women out there that get abused and don't say nothing and you know, live their lives through that. So that's
Because
an
I was like, I'm
apology.
sure if that happened, there'd have been a police report. You would have
Yeah,
been
man.
arrested.
That's foolishness. That's ignorant. That's all the way ignorant to 100%.
When you hear things in the news, certain things I believe about artists. That story, I didn't even think that was remotely close to
What have you. Now, there has been some mixed reports as to mentioning who was actually the one that did that. I'm not going to mention the name, but his ass is in prison right. Well, he's awaiting sentencing right now. Let's just say that due to the other crimes that we've seen in a hotel video. Moving past, okay. So of course Drake closed with you're dead, you're dead, you're dead. There's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to hide. Multiple gunshots also sound at various points in the recording. So basically what they're proving is that if you're going to sit there and say Kendrick was doing all of this, look at what you was doing in your track. You had gunshots. You talk about you was threatened, you scared for your life. You had real life gunshots in your songs. Cause you didn't have no gunshots. He just beat a stuffed owl's ass, and that's it. So that's basically what they're trying to say. Let's talk about it. If we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it. They even mentioned Meet the Grams on here because they said that Lamar responded with two more back-to-back tracks, Meet the Grams, followed by Not Like Us. He said in Meet the Grams released approximately, they have the time, approximately 30 minutes after Family Matters. Lamar directs his insults to various family members of Drake's immediate family and to Drake himself. Now, let's be clear. He did not insult everybody. He didn't talk about Drake's mama. He didn't talk about Drake's baby mama. He didn't talk about Drake's kids with an S. He did talk about Dennis, and he did talk about Drake. So the two people that he discussed was was Drake and his daddy. So Kendrick kept it on man shit. He didn't disrespect the mama, the baby mama, the kids, or nothing like that. But he did talk that man shit, okay? Also, nobody has ever been able to answer this question for me, just as a side note. If Family Matters was that damn good, and that was a whole video, how did an audio of Meet the Graham spank the shit out of Family Matters? To where y'all going back to Family Matters 6 months later say, oh, Family Matters was pretty good. No, Family Matters was a whole video, a whole concept, whole video. Regardless of whatever Kendrick put out, that video should have been able to stand the test of time. Why are we all still scared of damn Meet the Grams? I'm just saying. Family Matters suck, but whatever. So then they mentioned that Not Like Us was released May 4th. And it consists of hyperbolic insults and what have you. Why you trolling like a bitch? Ain't you tired? And it was God playing to show y'all the liar. That was a good one. Mocks Drake's OVO brand and image. What OVO for the other vaginal option? Pussy, which was hilarious. And they go on and on. They're what is the owl? Bird, and bird, and then it says they also make hyperbolic threats of violence. You think the Bay gonna let you disrespect Pop? I think that Oakland show gonna be your last stop. Okay, so it attacks Drake's personal relationship, including alleging that Drake had relations with rapper Lil Wayne's girlfriend, which he did do that. But I think it was before Wayne, before that girl ever even met Wayne or something like that. I forgot how it went, but I think that was the thing. But hey, when it's a rap battle, it's a rap battle. He did call him a colonizer, which he was, and we're going to keep it moving. He also talked about tailor-made freestyle, and he said talk about Drake like a young girl. So Lamar did explain. He did say that. He said, "Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block one. To any bitch that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. See? Why you trolling like a bitch? Ain't you tired? Try to strike a chord. This probably A minor. All right. So then he also raps and what else? He talked about and goodness. And Baca has a weird case. Why is he around? Certified lover boy, certified PDF files. But that part right there is the reason why Drake has been saying that, this is a detriment to me because everybody on the internet kept saying that he called Drake that, but he didn't. If you look up the lyrics, he actually said with the S, right? And I actually, when I first heard this, I got to give a shout out to Curtis King because Curtis King was the first one I heard say that. And I said, did really? Because I thought he was talking to him at first. But when you look up the lyrics, it is calling the group out. It is not calling Drake out. Drake took it on the chin. Him and his OB hoes up there say he called. You heard Maul and academics. He called our great savior up at a PDF file, a PDF file. He didn't. He says certified lover boy, like a question mark, certified PDF files, right? It said, and your homeboy need a subpoena. That predator moves in flocks. The name got to be registered and placed on neighborhood watch. He going. He ain't talking about Drake only. He's talking about his crew. And he mentioned that too in Meet the Grams. He mentioned about his crew, right? So then it says Drake responded the following day with the Heart Part 6. And look, Drake doubled down on his statement that Lamar's children was fathered by date Mr. Free. They said Mr. Free. And why isn't Whitney denying all of the allegations? Because Whitney's a grown ass woman. That's why. Nobody gonna play no internet games with you, boy. Why is she following Dave Free and not Mr. Morale? Because they've been friends for years. Ain't nobody gonna listen, follow. Don't nobody answer you, boy. It said Dave leaving heart emojis underneath pics of the child. There's other kids too. Like if Dave really effed your girl and got her pregnant, talk about breeding resentment. Goodness. And reiterates his claim of domestic abuse. I don't want to fight with a woman beater. It feeds your nature. Now that's what so what they're saying is while you talking about how it hurts your image, you kept calling this man an abuser. Okay? So it's tit for tat. Who are you suing? Because you was doing the same thing. And then he says that Drake states that he expected the alleged defamatory statements and not like us. He said this Epstein angle was I expected TikTok videos you collected and dissected and denies them. Said only effing with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby's. I never looked twice at no teenager. So the track also contained further reference to violence, including I'll slit your throat with a razor. Yeah, bullets that I'm stuffing in each chamber. Your ass is in extreme danger. Okay, so he talking. So who he talking to then? Because he was talking to Kendrick in there. And wasn't nobody scared about that, were they? Nah, they weren't. So they stated that Lamar is widely perceived to have won the battle. Of course, if you go through all the references, he won. I don't care what y'all talking about. Kendrick won that, right? And so they're talking about that here, that how he won and why they're trying to sue and what have you. And he's indirectly suing about Kendrick Lamar. His whole point, even though Drake was saying that I'm not suing Kendrick, his whole point was trying to stop that motion of not like us. And he thought that he had the entities in place that was going to do it. What he didn't realize is that those entities talk to these lawyers every damn day. You thought the NFL was going to stop that? NFL wasn't about to stop shit. NFL knew the rights and regards. They knew. They knew what he can and can't do. And that's the thing, you don't know. And apparently your lawyers don't know, or they do know, but they like to spend your money because if they would have really gave a damn about you, they would have told you don't even push this. This don't make sense because you have shit on your side that will make this null and void. But it didn't, and he kept going for it. So their whole legal standard behind this is, hey, they want to get rid of this. They wanted to survive a motion to dismiss under Rule 12b-6. A complaint must plead enough facts to state a claim. They're basically saying, and they're referencing different cases here that you've seen at the top to show that this doesn't match none of these cases that actually went through it. And then they also move into the fail for defamation of character, right? So Drake fails to state a claim for defamation of character. And again, they're going into that about the not like us defamatory. They kept saying that Drake is not suing Kendrick Lamar. However, he was trying to stop the motion of that song. So let's be real. He was trying to sue. He just didn't want to look like he didn't want to go too far out there looking like a punk. So he tried to blame it on UMG, and he thought UMG was going to turn their back on Kendrick. Was like, nah, it's him. But UMG is like, nah, we not doing that because basically we taught you. Who you think you biting the hand that fed you, huh? Nah, let me show you how we get down. And that's what UMG is doing. They showing them how to get down. You really thought that you was gonna scare UMG to make them sue Kendrick? That wasn't gonna happen. They was gonna let you know you not bigger than the program. You never been bigger than the program. You just didn't know how to move within your program to be him, so now you mad. Basically. So what they're saying here is that Drake fails to state a claim for defamation because not like us conveys non-actionable opinion and rhetorical hyperbole, not fact, and because Drake cannot adequately allege the UMG acted with actual malice, which they didn't. He's just mad at his daddy. That's all. He mad at his daddy. He thought that he had the other side was going to rap for him. He thought the other side was going to rap for him. He was like, but y'all always been saying that, I'm part of y'all in some way. Why ain't you helping me in this way? And they telling him because we ain't getting down like that. No, because you decided to overstep your boundaries where we could have helped you a little bit. And I said this before. I said this in my video when it was I did a comparison of the history before with Thomas Edison and Nikolai Tesla, and I talked about how the Kendrick and Drake battle mirrors their battle. You can check it out on the War of the Currents video that I did. And I said this before. I think that UMG just didn't do shit. They stepped out of it. They let him fall. They didn't help Kendrick. They just didn't help Drake. And that's what it was. They just stepped back and said, nah, we're not doing it. And that's what I think happened. I don't think I know for a fact that Kendrick does not need help on anything, boosting nothing, right? Now, of course, if they got some type of inner workings, all artists do have some type of whatever, packaging, whatever. But I'm talking about straight up and straight out. That damn song, each song that he played actually was something to made a statement, right? And Not Like Us was the bop, right? But I think that what it was, I think that and I just feel it in my bones. I think that UMG just decided, nope, we're not going to help you. We're going to let you fall. Because all the other times UMG helped him. This time they said we're not helping. They don't need to help Kendrick anyway. The culture got Kendrick, but the people, the culture and the people had Kendrick. The industry had Drake, and that's what happened. Drake was usually backed by the industry, and this time the industry and their crew said, nah, we're gonna let you taste it. We're gonna let you feel that asphalt. You need to know what it feels like to really get punched in the face without somebody helping you stand up. You're gonna feel this time. And that's what they did. So they started breaking down what's the difference between actually being defamatory, and so they have that information. We're not going to read all that. Just letting them know, like what he's talking about for defamatory is not they state or they recite a case between Rappaport and Barstool Sports, who was really like I guess Sports did something as far as making a rap video and saying some really outlandish things to Rappaport and what have you. So he decided he wanted to sue, and I don't think that they were able to, but they were saying how it was very, very disrespectful they have it here, saying that the statements, when this was Rappaport versus Barstool, they were largely laden with epithets and vulgarities, hyperboles, and non-literal language and imagery. They had imagery, wow, that was delivered in the midst of the public and very acrimonious dispute between Barstool defendants and Rappaport that would have been obvious to even the most casual observer and published on social media, blogs, and Sport Talks Radio, which are all platforms where audience reasonably anticipate hearing opinionated statements. So they're reciting this and letting them know how bad it got there. And even then, I think Rappaport did not win. So they were just basically going on. Basically, you're exaggerating a lot of this shit, right? They said during the making of the video, and this is back to Not Like Us, there's a staring down of an owl cage. The imagery reinforces the non-factual nature of Not Like Us. Indeed, no reasonable listener would require a disclaimer that a pinata is not literally Drake and his crew. So they're letting you know that they're really making fun of Drake and the people. They're making fun of Drake and his people for even trying to insinuate that this was some type of something ever happened to you. It wasn't because of that, and they wasn't doing anything violent to you. They were saying all of this stuff was made up, and I guess everybody's going to keep it like that. But there have been other forums and things shown that everything wasn't made up, but certain things ain't coming out yet. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Okay. Moving on, because we about to wrap this up. This is a lot of information. Again, they're talking about Millie Bobby Brown and the rumors. This is what I did want to get to. Let's go up a little bit. Okay. It started here. The broader context also, I want to make sure we are in the right area. The broader context also reinforces that Not Like Us is not actionable. Not Like Us did not emerge out of thin air. It was Lamar's culminating diss track in one of the nastiest lyrical warfare rap feuds in history. It followed the release of 7 preceding tracks in which Drake and Lamar hurled increasingly vitriolic allegations at each other, including Drake's slurs that Lamar's son was fathered by someone else, and Lamar cheats on his wife and also abuses her. Oh, fiance abuses her. If ever there was circumstances for the audience to anticipate the use of epithets and fiery rhetoric or hyperbole, this is it. Ooh. And then they said, moreover, assessment of the broader context makes clear that Not Like Us relates to, listen to what they say, Not Like Us relates to well-known controversies that Drake himself acknowledged and perpetrated. Considering the overall context in which the statements were made, a reasonable listener would not have believed the challenge statements were covering facts about the plaintiff rather than an opinion, because the statements were based on facts that were widely reported by Western New York media outlets and were known to the listeners. Are you hearing what they're saying? A reasonable listener would not have believed that the challenge statements were conveying facts about the plaintiff rather than opinion, because the statements were based on facts that were widely reported by Western New York media outlets and were known to the listeners. You better shut up talking to these people. They asked us, look, are you? Wow. Oh my goodness. They say, and then they continue on after some cites of certain cases. They say facts and criticism concerning Drake's relationship with minors predate. Facts and criticism concerning Drake's relationship with minors predate Not Like Us and have been widely reported. This is their ether right here. Oh my God. No, they didn't. Wow. And then they say in parentheses, noting that Lamar is indicting Drake for years of rumors and speculations around his misbehavior around minors, and that Millie Bobby Brown, who was 13 at the time when she was texting Drake back and forth, okay, is one of the things that most people are aware of when it comes to Drake and the rumors around him. She talked about texting with Drake when she was, a minor. Huh, huh, okay? So I'm not going to run down the rest of this. You guys can check it out at your leisure. But yeah, I don't know what made Drake do this as far as having these. I don't know. I don't know why he took this to court. This was ignorant. They went so far off on him. This is worse than a Not Like Us. This is their Meet the Grams version. I swear this is their Meet the Grams. This is their Meet the Grams. It is amazing how they got at Drake. And they're letting him know that if you had it, they actually is telling him this is what a defamation is. You ain't got it. And he says finally Drake fails to allege because he cannot that UMG acted with no legitimate purpose in publishing and promoting Not Like Us. And then began to break it down what that phrase means. The phrase no legitimate purpose means the absence of a reason or justification to engage someone other than to hound, frighten, intimidate, or threaten. That's per People versus Stewart. Here, Drake expressly alleges that UMG motive with respect to Not Like Us were financial. Seemingly recognizing this efficiency, Drake alleges that while its initial motive was financial, UMG lost any legitimate purpose to continue its course of conduct in the face of Drake's public and private denial. They are getting at him. And then they have the fourth reason why they want to move to dismiss, which is Drake fails to state a claim under New York. It says, finally, Drake purports to bring a claim under New York general business law, which he asserts UMG violated by covertly financially incentivizing third parties to play, stream, and promote the recording, and then by making materially false and misleading representations of the recording's popularity to the consumers. Wow. They said it's bogus. They said these allegations are entirely bogus, but in all events, failed to state a claim. So they're saying that the shit that you prepared, you just saying shit to say shit. You basically paying your lawyers for nothing. Is basically what they're saying. You're paying your lawyers for nothing. You have nothing, but you had to go along with it because there's nothing because you stepped your foot in it and you wanted to keep going and you didn't know how to stop the train. They also mentioned the bots. This is right. Look, the centerpiece of this claim was the utterly false assertion that UMG used bots to stream Not Like Us. Then they tell you where to see that. So Drake based this theory. This is what they said. Drake based this theory on a claim that an anonymous individual alleged on Twitch stream that Kendrick Lamar's label Interscope paid him via third parties to use bots. This is the one that's talking when he was talking to Act.
Now, all right, I'll be honest with you. I talked to my man from Spotify. I won't say the name right now. But legit Spotify, nigga. He said, hey, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what that person on your stream was talking about. Them Kendrick streams is real. That's what
I'm saying. What I did, I called the people that I know oversee those people that play like that. And I PTR'd it on my floor. They said, whack, we didn't work that. We didn't touch that.
Academics. And I hope that academics get roped in here and they sue his ass for lying because that's what he was doing. He was lying too. And that's what they were trying to say, that they use bots for his streaming for Not Like Us to get popular when that's not what it was. They refuted this claim. They said, but this claim is then directly refuted by the very source that Drake cites. The Twitch stream, the anonymous speaker, already a dubious source, claims that he was hired by Anthony Saleh, who is Kendrick Lamar's manager. UMG, Interscope are never accused. So they're saying that if you're going to accuse somebody, it wouldn't be UMG, Interscope, it would be Anthony Saleh. Which then they basically Anthony Saleh and all that. Well, everybody else said that shit was false. So and it was false. The way it looked, all of that was false. It said Drake conceded in the falsity and agreed to withdraw the correct the meritless actions. Wow. This is when it was talking. Oh my gosh. This is crazy, y'all. Okay, so this is all I have for you guys. Again, there's like this is everywhere. We'll put this up on our we'll have a link at the bottom so you can get to it. But yeah, tell us what you think. What can you think? Like this is crazy. They ethered the hell out this man. They basically saying Drake's stupid and his legal team is incompetent and they're stupid and they're money grubbing because they allowed this fool to think that he really had a case when he didn't. And Lucien is showing him as a disappointed daddy. I'm showing you how what your daddy should have been doing. I'm whooping your ass right now because your daddy ain't never whooped you like this. This is what Lucien is doing. It's like, I love you, son, but I gotta spank your ass to let you know whose house you're in. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. Well, anyway, y'all, this has been Battle Rap Street Team Bars, and thank you for your time. We have some other things that we are going to be showing and coming up in the future here. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Let us know what you think about this whole UMG clapback because that's what it was. This was basically a clapback, like Real Housewives of Atlanta type of clapback. They was not playing with Drake, letting him know that we is your daddy and we gonna continue to be because you are nothing without us. You thought it was the other way around. So you thought. That's basically what it was. All right. I'm out. Bye. Okay, y'all. So before we close shop, guess what? Whose name is Michael Strack? It's shareholders, artists, and the public from A Simple Truth. A greedy company is finally being held responsible for profiting from dangerous misinformation that has already resulted in multiple endangering, abusing, and taking advantage of its artists. So there you have it. That is the update. I was just about to close this out and I was doing this editing and everything. And next thing I know, this popped out late yesterday. So I decided to go ahead and add this on